There are strange things done neath the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. Now the northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee hailed from Tennessee where the cotton blooms and blows, and why he left his home in the south to roam round the pole, God only knows. It was always cold, but that land of gold seemed to hold him in its spell, and he used to say, in his homely way, that he'd rather live in hell. 'Twas a Christmas day. We were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail, and talk of your cold through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we closed and the lashes froze till at times you couldn't see, and it wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. Well, that very night as we lay wrapped tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe, and he turned to me and Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess, and if I do, I beg that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, and he said with a sort of a moan, it's this cursed cold that's got right a hold and has chilled me clean through to the bone. It ain't being dead, it's the terrible dread of an icy grave that pains. And I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains. Well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I promised I wouldn't fail, and we started on with a streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He knelt in the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee, and before nightfall a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. Now there wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and your brains, but your promise true. Now it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail is its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb in my heart, oh, I cursed that load. In long, long nights in the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out to the woes, to the homeless snows, oh God, how I loathed that thing. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I wouldn't give in, and I used to sing to that hateful thing that hearkened with a grin. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow, but on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was running low. Then I came to the marge of Lake Labarge. A derelict there lay. She was jammed in the ice, and I saw in a trice she was called the Alice May. Well, I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum, and here, says I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I built a boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel on higher. And the flames just soared, and the furnace roared, a blaze you just seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, 'cause I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, I couldn't tell why. And the greasy smoke in its inky cloak went streaking across the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with the grisly fear, but the stars came out and danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peek inside. I guess he's cooked, and as time I looked, and the door I opened wide. Well, there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar, and he wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said, please close the door. It's warm in here, and I gravely fear you'll let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee. It's the first time I've been warm. Now there are strange things done neath the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Sam McGee. The end.